Hi everyone. First of all, excuse the mess because I haven't had the chance to clean any of the room. I've been working on this today. So originally I wasn't going to bother sort of posting anything about this until it was finished. So I haven't really taken many videos or photos on the way through of the build process. But after watching a few videos on YouTube and stuff, I thought, I might as well. So this is the rock crawler course that I'm building to suit 1/18 and 1/24 scale cars. So that's a 1/18 scale. The 1/24 should just about work as well. A few things really that I want to note that were a priority with this was doing it on a budget, which I've managed to do. I mean, quite a lot of the materials I already had. So boxes, I had some foam left from work. I've got some paints from scale models. And I had some PVA glue and some kitchen roll and stuff like that. And also some sand, which I've been doing today to get some texture. But yeah, the idea was to keep it budget. And I wanted to be able to make it movable. So it's on the table at the minute. It can be lifted up. It's on a piece of 18mm MDF. But the idea was if I ever wanted to take it off of the table that I can, or if I wanted to put it in the van and take it anywhere that I can. Obviously, I don't plan to do that very often. It's not going to be easy to move. But my main point with that is I didn't want to use any timber. I didn't want to use any real rocks. I wanted to keep it as lightweight as possible. So most of it is in cardboard, foam, polystyrene, and obviously some paper mache. So, I mean, I've added some weight, but 6x3 MDF sheet is not particularly light in the first place, but two people can lift it up and move it around. Obviously you can see I've only got so far. We've been doing it a couple of days now. I'd say I'm probably about 10 or 12 hours in. Fortunately I had a pretty quiet week this week. So we've got a basic rock course, we've got some logs, sort of forget the colour scheme at the minute. That was just to try and get some base colours down so I can start putting some sand on before I try and do any detail. So there's a couple of options. You start there, you can come out this way, you can either go that way or obviously carry on round the main route, up, over the top, across the bridge, up there, and eventually we'll bring it back down the back. And the idea is to keep a ground level as well. So when you finish, you can make your way round the ground level, through here, under the bridge, across the mesh, which is actually the table underneath. I thought I'd just do my best to incorporate that. Work your way around and go back to the start. We've got a bit of a cave there, which the car fits into. We'll make that kind of like maybe a cave entrance. And then with this box, I was thinking about cutting the front out and making like a repair shop, just putting a few tyres on the wall and stuff like that. Just to try and keep it scale and do something a little bit different. Like I say, the mesh I've incorporated. I've got to build that up a little bit because it is quite hard to get out of that certain ways. But in general, it's coming together. I started with an idea and I've changed my mind 5, 6, 7 times along the way. But we're starting to get there. We've got another little cave there. That's going to be the bear cave. So we'll have a little bear at the door there. And then this section where you can see the pen, that's going to be painted in blue. So it looks like water kind of running out underneath the waterfall. There's still a long way to go, but like I said, I just thought I'd do a quick video and do an update. And then I'll do a few more as I go. And then at the end I've got some photos and stuff that I'll put up. And I suppose we'll do a final video of an actual run of the course. Just to give people a little bit of information. I mean, this really can be done on a budget. Luckily I had most of the stuff, but the idea is to be able to do this on a budget of less than £100. I think that's quite approachable. You don't have to use the same materials that I've used. Obviously MDF's quite expensive, OSB board and chipboard are a bit cheaper. Foam is relatively expensive, but you can do a lot of it out of polystyrene if you can sort of think about it in advance and keep some boxes back and some polystyrene. You can recycle quite a lot. The other thing is a hot glue gun is your friend most of the time. Yesterday it wasn't my friend. I managed to burn my finger and I've got quite a sizable blister, so be careful with a hot glue gun. But yeah, like I say, I mean, a lot of this stuff I'm fortunate enough that I've had it here, but I feel like £100 would be a fair budget. This is it's not the biggest course that I've seen, but it's a good enough size. There's enough roots on it, especially for a 1/24 scale. I feel like there's more than enough to keep you occupied. And in between drying times, I've actually had a little go around with the Land Rover just to get an idea of if it will make it round and if I've got to make some changes, which I have had to do because some bits were just kind of impossible. Obviously that's a standard TRX 4M, so if you've got an upgraded car you probably do a little bit better, but the idea was to make this so challenging that with a standard car you probably can't make it to the end, and then keep doing videos with some upgrades to give people an idea of what upgrades are going to work the best and what actually really makes a difference. So I'm going to leave it there, and I'll try and get another video maybe tomorrow or the next day and work on a little bit of progress and keep everybody updated.